tell us all about Akibeka and what it stands for?
Well, the word actually, the both words came from the book of Enoch. And rather than just telling you what I think, I'll just read what Enoch's book says of these two words, Aki and of Becca. You know, this is the number of the Kesbel, the principal part of the oath which the Most High, dwelling in glory, revealed to the holy ones. Its name is Becca. He spoke to holy Michael to discover to them the sacred name, that they may understand the secret name and remember the oath, that those who pointed out every secret thing to the children of man might tremble at that name and at that oath. This is the power of the oath, for powerful it is and strong. And he established this oath of Aki by the instrumentality of the holy Michael. And these are the secrets of this oath, and by it they were confirmed. Heaven was suspended by it before the world was made forever. By it the earth has been founded upon the flood, while from the concealed part of the hills the agitated waters proceed from the creation to the end of the world. By this oath the sea has been formed, and the foundation of it. During the period of its fury, he established the sand against it, which continues unchanged forever. By this oath the abyss has been made strong, nor is it removable from its station forever. By this oath the sun and the moon complete their progress, never swerving from the command given to them forever and ever. By this oath the stars complete their progress, and when their names are called, they return an answer forever and ever. So, in terms of what is the meaning of these words to I personally, it's the things that are intrinsic, the things that our heart knows already I must be forever and ever, never to swerve away and never to change. So within what these words mean from Enoch's book to what they mean in my personal living life, I find them to be congruent and fitting right now for what I must be, you know.
Definitely give thanks for that. All right, like you just said about fitting for you in your journey through life and stuff like that.
Yes.
You know, based on the profound following that you've secured throughout your career and your life, as I call you a prophet and a teacher, because that's what you are to me. I tell you always that you're like my hero, understand? Because I really live up to what you stand for, what you teach, and always the blessings and the knowledge that you pass on. What do you think has been the resonating fact and the consistency for your career, and that why you have such a strong, some people call it a cult following, I just call it a follower because I'm one of those followers. What do you think contributes to that solid foundation?
Well, I think that the information that I use musically, I think that it's inborn in all of the people. It just depends on who's ready internally to take a look at it and take a listen. And the people to whom these sounds resonate would have to acknowledge that His Majesty would be represented in everything, because Haile Selassie is the reason that I even came to certain knowledge or understanding at all. It's like the book of John in the Bible, which say, howbeit that when the Spirit of truth is come, he will not speak of himself, but he will speak of me, who sent him, and he will show you the things to come.
Right.
So, even from an ancient record from 2000 and more years ago, it was known that a comforter will come and he will not speak of himself. You know, so His Majesty really helped for me to delineate in the fine lines the work that I'm supposed to do. And I think it's already inborn, as I said, in others to have these questions, you know.
Right.
And just like TIME is time, and the same word says EMIT, emit. And TIDE is tide, and the same word says EDIT, edit. It's the same way that both polarities are present in the words, in the lives of the people, the polarities. And somehow or the other, the Almighty give I the vision to see these things and to try to make them obvious to the people who have the very same questions and who are very much like myself, whether they know it or not, or whether I know it or not.
True that. That's a true reasoning. You know, like what you just said, the knowledge that you always pass on to me based on that grammar write down, the breakdown of words with the vibration of what words mean and how they stand for and resonate to people. Taking that into account, how do you see ways to send a message to the youth, to empower our youth, to really help us to lift the veil? Because that's what you do for me all the time. You lift the veil, like what you just broke down with the EDIT, TIDE, tide is the edit, because that shows just how people are focused more on spelling and spell, for lack of a better word and term, and more so than vibration, which is what we should go back to, the word, sound, power, the vibration. What would you give us a message to the youth about that in today's society?
Well, in this language that we speak, called English, where there's twice 13, 26 letters, and because thought is internal talk, and talk is external thought, because of those things, it's tangible, checkable, knowable, searchable. In terms of, look at CONE is cone. The same word is ENOC, Enoch. COVE is cove, and the same word is EVOC, evoke. So I would say that because in the code it's tangible, the language as a code is tangible, I would put it before the young people today, and depending upon their age and stage of their soul and their zeal, they may be interested, they may not be. But for the most part, time has proven that people have a lot more inside than they judge by. You know, many times people are judged before anyone even talks to you or even takes a listen to what your thoughts are. So many voiceless ones have a voice.
True.
You know, when they see that the same things that they think, they hear them in song, and things that seem esoteric or never spoken about. And I thought about that. And you would be very shocked to know that many of the people have thought these things. You know, and we just each taught to believe that we're so special and different, but the human beings are all special, you know, by the fact that each one has a thumbprint that's even individual. By the billions, you still get an individual thumbprint. That's the possibility of people listening and growth and changes and sameness. So this is a work that I do for enlightenment, you know, for world enlightenment, for my own enlightenment, you know.
True.
According to His Majesty, Haile Selassie, I work, you know.
True that. You know, as myself and as Rockers Movement, you know, we do what we do to raise awareness and share knowledge through the arts, you know. Yeah. Really on a journey, you know, I don't like to use the word fight, but on a mission for, you know, just for world peace and to help those that can't help themselves. Do you see peace in our lifetime as something attainable? Like when we do this event, you know, we do this event in honor of Nelson Mandela, and he had this global fight for power, you know, just against poverty and for peace and against injustice. Do you see the social conscious aspect for world peace attainable in our lifetime, and how can we as individuals and as platforms contribute to that endeavor?
Well, I would say that because both polarities exist as part of existence, negative and positive, they are here. They exist in permanence. So there will be pockets of peace. There will be pockets of people who have sameness of mind, sameness of purpose, and so forth. But we know also that contrast and contradistinction comes from the fact that polarities exist. And they are a fact of life. So I wouldn't like to say that knowledgeable of the Bible and of the truth and the right will erase the polarities.
Right.
The polarities are here. But just say, my sheep, hear my voice. You know.
I like that. So
Yeah.
the ones that are seekers of truth, that seek to have it resonate, the truth will find them, basically.
Yes, yes.
So those on the journey, we just have to continue on the journey and trust the process that the tools that are necessary will be available to us when needed.
Yes, just say, my sheep hear my voice. And the people who are interested in universal human rights and world peace must still know that polarities exist. You know, if there's east, there's west, if there's up, there's down, if there's hot, there's cold, if there's black, there's white. All of the polarities exist. So we just have to know, just say, my sheep hear my voice, and the ones who care to make betterment and goodness on earth, they will hear it, you know.
Indeed,
Yes.
indeed, indeed. All right, and fully understanding the means of communication to the people has been through your music and your songs, right? Are there other things that you currently do or would seek to do to reach other people and reach people that are not musically inclined, or like different platforms like seminars, workshops, or different things like that? Are you open to that as a speaker to, you know, to just educate the masses and lift the veil from our eyes?
Well, of course, I'm open to, as the demand calls, you know. And there are some people who are ill and not well, and maybe can't even go out sometimes to some of the venue. And sometimes a friend will call and say, I want you to talk to this friend for me. And so it takes many different forms. And like you say, it's just about the communication. So it's not necessarily everything on stage, you know.
True that, true that.
Because life is this stage, you know, so it comes down to being helpful. If you can, even in any neighborhood you are, among any people, you know, anywhere you are, you have to be the same thing, you know. Yeah.
True that. So I guess so. There's no rules, you know. It's whatever that form of effective activism is in that respective, you're open to it. That's good, because we want to call on you, because we really want to keep a town hall, the Rockers movement, introducing Aki Becker and Von Benjamin to speak to the people, because some people, you know, music, you know, it's a vehicle, it's a message of people, but like you said, some people just can't get to that kind of setting, and we want the message to get to the people, because our mission as Rockers movement is to rise the people up, to wake the people up, as many as they're called, to have them get the message. You
Yes,
know?
my brother.
We definitely look for that. You and I, we reason a lot, and I know we both share a common interest where the world is predominantly good. You know, as it being, you don't wake up with a disaster on your step every hour, every day.
That's right.
So we believe that, and we understand that.
Yes.
Yet, you know, bad things happen to good people and vice versa.
Yes.
And, you know, people of society always looking for something to hold on to. People need hope, faith, belief. We just society has instilled that within us, that we need to believe in something.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm a firm believer. I believe in God and in the Most High. That's my belief. You know,
Yes.
everyone has an individual belief all over the world, dependent on your geographical location and what you were taught in that respective society.
Yes.
Based on that teaching, how do you foresee the diverse following that you have, you understand, and what they resonate to? What is it that you think that they come for when they come to see you perform?
Well, His Majesty talk about the fact that spirituality is much higher than religion
Indeed.
in terms of different demographics and geographics and locations. Still doesn't change the fact that the whole spectrum of human emotion exists in all the humans.
Ah, aye.
You see, the entire spectrum, everything that we possible to feel, good, bad, ugly, and indifferent,
Correct.
exists in all the humans. So, in that one drop beat that we know as the heartbeat, you know, as long as the communication can be made where the people overstand from spirituality, we will have to go higher than religion to communicate. We will have to go higher than such separations.
True.
We will have to admit that the whole spectrum of human emotion exists in all the humans.
Correct.
You see? Yeah.
So that's that sameness that we were speaking about earlier,
Yes.
really for another time. You
Yes.
just mentioned something about that one drop, and anyone that has followed your music throughout their career, your career, understand the transient state and how you captivate an audience and the pulse. Everyone says it's that pulse, that there's just a pulse to your music, that when you channel the energy when you're on stage and wherever you may be, even now as an individual, you channel this space and time that creates a level of captivation. What do you contribute that to in understanding, for people to understand, like me as a young musician as well, how to really capture that? Where do you go?
Well, like I tell you, the heart, if it goes too fast, it's called arrhythmia. If
Right.
it goes too slow, palpitations, arrhythmia, any of it is no good.
Right.
As constant as possible and as sustainable as possible. That's what really gets to the human, because if you play a music that's non-sustainable because the human can't keep up with it, it's very much like how animals, any man that is a herdsman, or if you have sheep, you take them down to the water to drink. They don't want to drink from the fast rushing area.
Right.
They want to drink from a place where the water has slowed down and is dammed up a bit.
Right.
So it has to do with the human biorhythm, you know, and many people call it what they will hypnotic cadence, they say. But the thing is that it's sustainable. It's not non-sustainable. It's not too fast, it's not too slow. So it's a sustainable place where maybe now you can do this for 3-4 hours. Sometimes 5 is gone there. And it's sustainable because it's within the heart medium, you know.
We definitely know about that. I've been since midnight in Von Benjamin, and I was going to be Akibeka performances of 3-4 hours, and you can just keep going. And the audience, they stand there. That's why I get the term transient state.
Yes, sir.
This is going to be Akibeka's, initial inaugural event. Von Benjamin, the Akibeka, Sunstar Moon Roots Reggae in Denver for Nelson Mandela Day. What can people expect from Akibeka and Von Benjamin?
Well, like I said, time is always changing. It's not static, it's moving. Time stay moving. And as I read for you earlier out of Enoch book, it should let you know it's about steadfast and unmovable.
Truth.
And the people can expect a steadfast and unmovable still. And like I say, these things which I sing and say and speak as message, they don't belong to me, they are not mine. They belong to the universe and to the whole of the people of the world,
Truth.
So if I happen to be a medium point, or if I happen to be a vessel through which some of these things can come to enlighten, I thank God for the opportunity, for the chance at all to do that with my time that He's given me on earth,
We give thanks for you taking that job and passing the gift of knowledge on to us. What do you think or know about the quantum geometrical symbology in the Ethiopian royal symbols? If that is something you could elaborate on.
Well, to even to build a rocket or anything, the tripod form that's even holding up your camera right now, that the people will look at and say Mercedes-Benz symbol, or the hexagon that's in the beehive, or when you see these things which happen spontaneously in nature, the cracking of soil just by sunlight will crack spontaneously in that same six-pointed shape. The matrices of the skin, the crystal line nature of our eyes and of crystals and the way they are made, with all these six-pointed form in natural spontaneity just coming to be. Among the Ethiopians, the fact is these are not just symbols, these are building blocks. Like there is no more fundamental form than this tripod form, which now we know as Mercedes-Benz symbol when you watch the way the matrices are attached. You know, even the tripod that holds up the camera. So these are the building blocks of the earth, you know. If you see a man raises his hand like Ethiopia stretch forth her hands unto Jah, that's a pyramid to the sky, and both your feet to the ground is a pyramid to the floor. That's one triangle up and one triangle down.
Truth.
Just upon the human being. And right here in our center is called our solar plexus. As we know, solar is sun. And this is our sun center between two triangles. Just sacred geometries already made in the universe, made on people.
True.
So they're not just symbols, but they are mathematical constants, you know, made in raw natural spontaneity by the universe, you know.
Truth. Definite truth. On that note, you know, you and I spoke earlier about, you know, the holographic universe and understanding. You know, there's a lot of debates out there about what it is and what it entails. And I'm a young individual that I tell you all the time that lives in my mind. And I believe in the concept of the holographic universe because everything that is in my world is a projection that I created in my world. That's why I can realize it and see it in my world. Is this something that you concur with and agree with and can enlighten and elaborate on?
Well, the eyes invert images. They claim that we get it upside down and our eyes invert the image. So the way the body is even ingesting vision is upside down, which we could be walking on the sky right now and looking from down up. Just how the complexity of the human being and the fact that three-dimensional printing even now can be done. It proves that, like writing the word Enoch, that says C-O-N-E, cone, which is to have a tripod form as height, depth, and width, spatiality, a cone.
Correct.
Which just happens to be the same word Enoch. And it just happens that these truths and these secrets were given to Enoch.
Right.
You know, it's very, let me read you one more page out of Enoch about a short excerpt, not necessarily a whole page. At the time of its going forth, 3 months it appears 30 days each. During 3 more months it appears 29 days each. In the night it appears for each 20 days as the face of a man, and in the day as heaven, for it is nothing else except its light.
Correct.
This is how long ago, this is how long ago, before what we know today as the Bible was put together.
Wow.
Before that is the book of Enoch.
Knowledge.
So, to show you that even the things that we think are just the speculations of the Rastafari people today, about you see His Majesty face in the moon. You know, the Caribbean people know it, the VI know it, All the children talk about it, but I don't know how many realize that it's written.
Right. Right.
So this holographic universe and the fact that I just read about it is only the reflection of its light. That is the fact already, that you give off the things that are reflected.
Correct.
You see, so even the moon is subject to these laws, you know.
No, that's definitely.
We're greater bodies than ourselves. You know.
No, definitely a blessing. Well, Vaughn, we won't take up more of your time, but maybe we look forward to having you in Denver on July 17th, you know,
Yes.
on behalf of Rockers Movement Identity Weekly for Nelson Mandela Day. It's going to be a blessing to always, you know, it always is a blessing
Yes,
to
it's
have
a
you.
pleasure. It's a pleasure to come and give of all the pleasantries that I can find and muster to bring forward about this human experience called life, you know. Give thanks and praise. I used to last year you first every time.
Love.
Yes, I. Blessed love to the people of Denver. This is Juan Benjamin of Akibeka. We'll be at Nelson Mandela's Day on July 17th at Castleman's in Denver. Looking forward to meeting and greeting with the people in our musical experience. Blessed love.
Imagine how magnificent the sentiment is when you acknowledge serve your people to their benefit. Oh yes, oh yes. In the same boat we, in the same boat we. Yeah. That's right to say, in the same boat we in